I am not doing too much of sharing so that we can go into. There is something I said in the morning. I said, the truth we know is more important than what we're asking God to give us. Just like what I'm about to share now. Change. Rapture and the manifest lion. Now, can I ask you to look up here? I am going to do dictation to bring your eyes to something that you don't know that it is that way. Now, when there is a problem on earth, God doesn't solve it without men. When there is a problem on earth, God does not solve it without men. When an enemy needs to be defeated, God does not fight enemies. Point number 3. What God produces from a man, represent the value and the preservation of that man. Men can only produce what they have grace to produce, or what God put in them. When you hear this, you will be happy. God does not want men to give him what he didn't first give them. God does not take responsibility for whatever that happened on earth. The battle that a man can win is a battle the man can win from his valley. Each time there is a problem on earth, God will start looking for a solution in a man. When God wanted to conquer it, he hid Christ in Jesus. And then the honor of Jesus The value of Jesus is in giving Christ to the world. That's how much you clap for what I just said. The honor of Jesus is in giving the world a spirit that has capacity to conquer death. The honor of the Jews is to give to the world a man that have capacity to keep Christ. All the days of your life, don't turn your eyes away when you see a unique valley. That is an attack. It's evil unto death. I saw something something touched my mind today before I came out. Something touched my mind. Israel had a problem in Egypt, and Moses and Moses didn't go to Egypt. Moses gave the Egyptians a god. Moses gave the Egyptians a god. Moses produced a god that had capacity to torment Pharaoh. Chapter 4, 15 and 16. Moses produced a god that Aaron worshipped. Man is not meant to worship God that doesn't have form in a man. Except a God has a form that a man introduced, that God cannot be worshipped. And then men that worship that God worship him through that man who produced that God and own the God. Wait. If an angel of poverty kept down a town, you think you can conquer the angel by building two-story building? You think you can conquer the angel by even having a state in the village? Putting a state in the village that the spirit of death kept banned is wasting your time. Because even the estate is under the influence of poverty. It's an influence. Let me explain something to you. If you look at the story of the people of Israel in chapter 1 of Exodus, in chapter what? The Bible says, and a Pharaoh that doesn't know Joseph, the one that knows Joseph died, and a Pharaoh that doesn't know Joseph rose. Isn't that what the Bible said? Even when the Pharaoh that knows Joseph was around, the people were already slaves. That challenge was inevitable, because slavery is a spirit of it's a territorial spirit. It's not lacking things. Don't forget that while they were there, I think a lot of Jewish girls married some Egyptians to go and enjoy. thinking that going to have a good house in Egypt will make them different. Do you know what rapture is? Huh? Do you know what rapture is? Rapture is just waiting for a man to introduce the Lion of Judah to the earth. Nothing else. In a cloud. That is part of the last truth. Somebody, whether he believes it or thinks, this truth will not lose its power. Some people who don't have favor to connect to that truth will perish, and the truth will still reign. Somebody said the Jew doesn't believe in Jesus, and they say, how many of them? The Jewish nation, they are up to 1 billion. The Jews in Middle East are up to 500 million. And 500 million is not even too much. The Jews are up to 200, are up to 150, and the church is 2 billion. And they will never expand because the law doesn't have opportunity to expand. Sometimes I need to tell us, I said, we are a Messianic company. Let us not be harsh to people. Let us not say that's the way it should be done. There is no way it should be done in movement. Movement means the coverer of sin is with the people. The justifier is still with the people. Like I was saying yesterday, if a girl is misbehaving, and I'm paying her, and they pay her, and that, like I said, I'm assisting her when she asks me to assist her in a small way, and then you're getting angry with her. The girl, did she come for you? And is it not that thing? Is it not that principle that I know? That what I said, you don't fault people when they are justifier. It's with them.
It's with them. It's with them.
You say you don't like what they are doing, what she's doing. Excuse me. Do I like it? Somebody. I said, do I like it? I don't like it, but she's my comfort. She's the one God gave me. He has warned me many times. He said, it's not what you want that happens. Follow what is available. This is your destiny. May you accept your destiny.
Amen.
After you have found it. And may you stop quarreling with it. May you stop wishing you have another destiny. May you stop wishing. give you a wife, and you said, I have an idea of the kind of woman I want. Excuse me. Your idea of that woman is your wife. Is your wife. That's the difference between me and some of us. That's the difference between me and some of us. Very early, I accept my destiny and I'm happy with it. What I try to do is to know more about it. The more I know about it, the more I say praise God. And I'm happy. Because this was chosen for me. It was chosen for me. Since you see me, okay, I might not be here. I just went home and I took tonton. I saw tonton on my table, I put it on my mouth. Because of my voice. But I'm about to start shouting. Because it is my destiny. And I've accepted it. Somebody says, Shepherd, that shepherd, he likes suffering. I say, go and sleep. Who likes suffering? When I go inside there, I will say, Lord, grace, don't ever allow me to love something that is not part of me. Quickly, I don't only pray it, I must turn from it continuously. I must turn away from something that's not part, because it's a waste of effort. I must not try to follow any path that's not my path, because I know that I will still return, and I don't have time to be going up and down. Seven one of Exodus. Let me point. Let me point to something. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
Chapter 4:16.
And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God.
There is something I want you to look at. The God that God was pointing to, Aaron, was he a God in heaven? Is he not a God Moses has introduced to bring Israel out? Now, producing that God is more important than praying for God to send help. You tell God to send him. You tell God to send him. Now, you don't tell God to send after he has produced it. And now, that God here in 4:16 is the value of Moses. Like what I said before, I'm going to share it now on. That's going to be my thought. When I do that, we'll start praying. If you were born to preach incarnation, don't preach vision. If you are born to preach the incarnation of the lion, don't preach the incarnation of lamb. Every season has a revelation that guides his destiny. In that 82, verse 1 of Psalm, the Bible says God consults with God. Now, pay attention to me. Pay attention. Round about Igbo land here and this Agwata area, do you know that some villages you go, you see mighty houses? Huh? There's some villages around town you go, you see buildings that are very expensive. Huh? But the land is in pain. That means building does not have ability to redeem. But it is the value of a man. Small men will always produce things that are irrelevant. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. I said little men we always produce something that's irrelevant. Somebody said, I'm a professor of veterinary medicine, I'm a professor of microbiology. So go and sleep. You see professor of veterinary medicine or microbiology or law that this village, that the Igbo land is waiting for. That's your small value. You have produced it, but we still have a problem. You have built an estate around, but we still have a problem. You see, because what you produce that represent you does not have ability to raise standard against the existing problem. The challenge that we are having here is a challenge of the firmament. The challenge of the firmament. Now, physical things men produce cannot solve the problem. Do you know why I'm sharing what I'm sharing? They want us to waste time like our fathers and also die. It will never happen. Now, when we waste time and die, the problem will continue. That is why sometimes when some things I say, somebody grow angry. Why you grow angry is because the past want to maintain a status quo or something that have destroyed your family. It's still working in you. But in this meeting, it will never survive. To be not. You have four private jets in a hangar. This is not Yoruba private jet. Can Enugu airport take 4 hangars? Does it have hangar? Can Oyedebo bring a headquarter of Living Faith to Enugu? Why are you shaking your head? Enugu is Obro. He said they will destroy it.
had blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
The God of this world. Now, if Satan is a God and is in charge of this world, he cannot be stopped except by a bigger God. And that bigger God must come from a man if it is art. To raise a standard against an existing standard. To raise a standard against an existing standard, there should be a spurious God to stop an existing God. And it is not the duty of God to produce that God that will stop the existing one. He's a man, because this is art. When he came to Lagos, he came after he gave testimony of how something fell on him, and we're all watching it. I told him, I said, you're not going to be a full-time pastor. Because as is there, I was quarreling with Gogo. Somebody who by Gogo cannot be a full-time pastor with Igbos. No, he can't be. He doesn't have strength. It's as if I want to destroy his life. And I will never destroy his life. So I told him, I said, I'm going to get a job that will allow you, the type of job that will allow you to pastor. So that I can have a wife. And be able to feed your wife. Without keeping malice with me. Because some people, when there is too much pain in their life, they believe I'm the one that that I'm the one that caused it. So I told him, I said, when you become very well, you come. You never go, you can't even be in Kasana. How can someone like that survive Kasana church? It's not possible. How can he go to Kasana? How? That thing that fell on him, asked him, gave him the last opportunity to run away. So when the program ended in January, I said, don't follow that road. Follow me. Because the way why I attack him is like, he's like my son. I see him that way. So I want the best for him. And I want him to have a wife before he start putting his belt in his hand. There's a way a spirit of women work. Women are very kind. These are people that fall in love with men that have a wife and big nose. Or we say a boy that's not protected. It's a privilege of my life to ask you to open to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. That God Moses became had a cloud. All gods have cloud. All gods. And then they baptize, rapture. Rapture will happen in the lion's cloud. And that cloud is the revelation that produced God from men. Chapter 10, 1-4. 1 Corinthians.
Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
Now the cloud is the revelation that produced a God from Moses that must bring the people of Israel into the land of promise. That's why we're here. Let me say again. I said the cloud is the revelation that produced a God from a man. And then to produce the people of that God, which is also the people of that man, to the promised land. So there is a cloud in movement to bring into. There is nothing on earth that God gives to prayer. God gives inheritance to cloud. Let me say again. I said there is nothing on earth that God gives to prayer. God gives inheritance to cloud. Now if you look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, 16, 17 and 18.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven.
The Lord himself shall descend from heaven
With a shout.
with a shout,
With a voice of archangel.
with a voice of archangel,
And with a trump of God.
and with the trump of God.
And the dead in Christ shall rise first.
Yes.
Then which we which are alive and remain
Yes.
shall be caught up together with them in the cloud.
Yes, in the
to
cloud.
to meet the Lord in the air.
Now that cloud there is not in heaven. It's a lion's cloud for rapture. It's a cloud that must produce a lion from a man that will also declare rapture and the second coming of Jesus and produce the Bible said that cloud in 1 Corinthians has a food. Please hear this. This is the gift. After the God, after Moses produced a God, men are not given chance to believe or not. Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. Just like what you shared. Who is begging you to accept value that's produced? Who is begging you to accept the value. That's what he's speaking. The value in itself is already a voice. Excuse me. Listen, don't joke with the helper. The angel that brought me here 2000 with a machete here somewhere around. I can't remember the spot now. Don't joke with that angel that brought me in a small spot here. It's meant for. This meeting that we are has not been going on. If they bring the clip of those who were here 5 years ago in this type of meeting, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised in some faces you will see in that clip. Years ago, 8, you'll be surprised on the faces you see on the clip. 2015, 10 years ago. You'll be surprised on the people that were sat down here and we're making note. The way you are making. That we use. There is something I said when I was starting. I said if he is homogeneous, if he's Obo, and they are claiming that they are representing Jesus, there is something God will never allow them to have. The character that will sustain their claim will never be given to them. Just are you surprised? Huh? The character that sustains that claim will not come to them. The ability to endure messianic pain will never be given. God will never give it to free. It is under ordination. Ability to survive messianic pain is under ordination. That means it cannot be obtained. I was telling you yesterday, you David Bank said that you are thinking it's a joke. It's grace. You don't wish it. Apart from grace is understanding. I understand is here a joke. That somebody is alive and he understands he should not stumble. It's an awesome grace for someone who came from this side. This is a land that provides that give people through options. They say there is somewhere here, there's somewhere here, there's somewhere. There's somewhere here. Because that's what they have provided for our brothers and they all died. Because providing option is the strength of Satan. Let me continue this way, then I will bring it up for discussion. As I'll bring you up for discussion, let me continue this way. Because Moses is a God, all the divine apparatuses that God provided for Israel through Moses had energy to resist their enemy. Whether it is ark, the ark has energy to resist their enemy. Whether it is a pillar of fire in the night or pillar of cloud in the day, it has power to resist their enemy. And they are all product. They are all something that came out of the God Moses is. It was those divine apparatus and the standard they raised that made coming to promised land successful. Moses knew it. Let me say it this way. You cannot separate God from something that is already representing him, that has the ability to stop the enemy. Let me say it again. I say you cannot separate God from something that is already representing him. And Satan does not stand before something that has power to conquer him. So the energy we use in fighting Satan should be invested on producing value that can conquer Satan. But somebody should clap for what I just said. Prayer cannot give Satan permanent defeat. It's not possible. And do you know what is more painful? What is painful is when people burn out their life without providing for God what Satan cannot stand. Let me ask you to hear this. Do you know why Jesus didn't start ministry? Why Jesus didn't start ministry until he has a value like what happened in gathering? When the madman saw him and fell down and said, "Why are you coming to your time? Wanted to destroy us? Your time has not come." Now it was not a man. But by that time, Jesus has already has started projecting Christ. So the person the madman saw was not Jesus. He saw Christ that Jesus has produced. Anytime God wants you to produce a divine person, he will put pressure on you. You cannot produce divinity without going through pain. And divinity is sustained by pain. And producing divinity is winning. When a land is in bondage, it is not because men are not producing anything. I said, men are producing things. those who brought University of Nigeria and Suka to Igbo land is to help an Igbo man. And has he helped? But that's what they can produce. Intercessors who can see what other people can see will be saying, oh God, we are alive now. We are not what you want to solve a problem. Send us someone that can help us. Some people must not be born in some family until family members ask. They, not only that they should ask, they should pay. They should pay, they should sow a life that the value is not much, so that the life can produce a value that is what they want. Instead of doing that, they will say, Lord, give us money to enjoy. The future is far. Why do you want to settle? Whatever you produce represent you. Now listen. I will want you to care about what you're producing. It doesn't matter if this camp turn into a kingdom tomorrow. That must not represent my value. I will never allow it to represent my value. And I will never boast with something that can't represent my value. What cannot represent my value cannot satisfy me. Doesn't matter how magnificent. And the physical things will never represent my value. Since you know me, have I boasted I have this and that? I don't boast, that's why I don't even make effort to get it. I don't want to say I built a fine house. Now, God forbid. You see the reason I'm divine. That's why I can rent a house now. I said, we are building the buildings here and I'm renting a house. It doesn't make meaning. I told you when we are building Sulere Church, Elder Sam, peace to him now. He was still alive, his wife too. Peace to them. They have two of them have gone to glory. This God me one that says, Shepherd, I'm tired of how the way you're suffering. Let me get you in the place somewhere. I said no. I said, Nyem, a good place. Let me finish this beauty. Elder Sam is one of the richest men I've met. Close. If he opens the door of my office in Lagos, he kneels down at that door. That's how he got to my office. I said, if he opens the door of my office, he kneels down there at the door there until I ask him to come. And yet he's one of the richest men I've met. Elder Sam have treated me in a way another person have not. He said, that's how would have got to me and said, Shepherd, Why I don't want to abuse that life is because the grace for that life was paid for. The evil of looking at so many directions. The evil of looking at so many directions. Now, the greatest effort of Satan under the sun it is, and by multiplying opportunities. Don't forget that fake opportunities come from the corrupt imagination of darkness. Fake opportunities come from the corrupt imagination.